Before you click away, stay with me for just a moment, because the ending of this story will change how you see courage, fatherhood, and quiet heroism forever. And if stories like this move you, remind you of what really matters, go ahead and like this video and subscribe to the channel so you never miss a story that stays with you long after the screen goes dark. The pounding came at 5:42 a.m., the kind of sound that doesn't belong in a home unless something has gone terribly wrong. It rattled the doorframe and shook dust from the ceiling, and in that instant, Daniel Carter knew his past had finally caught up to him. He was already awake, sitting at the small kitchen table with a chipped mug of coffee growing cold in his hands, because single fathers learn to sleep lightly. Across the hall, his 6-year-old son Noah stirred, murmuring in his sleep, clutching the frayed edge of a blanket Daniel had washed so many times it felt like cloth memory instead of fabric. "Police, open the door," a voice thundered, amplified, official, final. Daniel stood slowly, every movement deliberate. He didn't swear, he didn't panic, he simply walked down the hall, knelt beside Noah's bed, and gently shook his shoulder. "Hey, buddy," he whispered, forcing calm into his voice. "I need you to get up." Noah blinked, confused, fear blooming instantly when he heard the shouting outside. "Daddy." Daniel pulled him close, breathing in the smell of shampoo and childhood. "Listen to me very carefully. Stand behind me. No matter what happens, you don't move. You hear me?" Noah nodded, eyes wide, arms wrapped tight around his dad's waist as the sound of boots and metal filled the air outside. The door exploded inward. SWAT flooded the small house in black armor and hard commands, rifles raised, boots pounding like war drums on cheap laminate flooring. Red laser dots danced across Daniel's chest, his shoulders, the wall behind him. He raised his hands slowly, keeping his body between the weapons and his son. "I'm unarmed," Daniel said clearly. "There's a child here." The room froze for a fraction of a second, that fragile pause where everything could still go wrong. Then the SWAT commander stepped forward. He stopped, he stared, and then, in front of his entire team, he lowered his weapon and raised his hand in a sharp, unmistakable salute. The house fell silent. 10 years earlier, Daniel Carter had been someone else. Not a criminal, not a saint, just a man trying to survive. He had been a soldier once, a damn good one. Special operations, the kind of unit that didn't exist on paper. He had led men through impossible missions, made choices that kept others alive at the cost of his own peace. When he came home, the war didn't leave him. It never does. His wife had died giving birth to Noah, and the grief hollowed him out in ways bullets never could. The military was all he knew, but it was also the one thing he couldn't give his son. So he walked away, took a quiet job fixing generators, moved into a small house where no one knew his name. But the past has a way of knocking when you least expect it. A week earlier, Daniel had stopped a robbery at the convenience store where Noah liked to buy chocolate milk. He moved on instinct, too fast, too precise. Someone noticed, someone reported, and suddenly old files were opened, half-forgotten operations flagged, red tape tangled with fear and misunderstanding. To the system, Daniel Carter wasn't a dad with tired eyes and calloused hands. He was a potential threat. The SWAT commander broke the silence. "Stand down," he ordered his team. They hesitated, then obeyed. "Daniel Carter," the commander said, his voice softer now. "You saved my life outside Kandahar. You carried me 3 miles with a bullet in your leg." Daniel swallowed. "Good to see you made it, sir." The commander looked past him at Noah, shaking but brave, still standing exactly where his father told him to. "He's your son." Daniel nodded. "My whole world." The commander turned back to his team. "This man is not our target. This is a failure on our end." The rifles lowered. The tension drained like air from a punctured tire. Later, after the house was cleared and apologies were spoken, after Noah was wrapped in a blanket and given a juice box by a woman whose hands still trembled from adrenaline, Daniel sat on the front steps as dawn broke. The commander sat beside him. "You disappeared," the commander said. "I chose my son," Daniel replied simply. The commander nodded. "You did the right thing." That morning, the story didn't end with arrests or handcuffs. It ended with understanding. The investigation was closed, records were corrected, and a little boy learned that when the world comes crashing in, standing behind someone who loves you can make all the difference. Years later, Noah would tell the story himself, not about guns or soldiers, but about the moment he knew his father was stronger than fear. And Daniel would watch from the back of the room, quiet, proud, content in the knowledge that heroism doesn't always wear a uniform. Sometimes it just stands in the doorway, arms raised, heart pounding, whispering, "Stand behind me," and meaning it with everything it has. If this story moved you, if it reminded you that strength and kindness often walk hand in hand, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. More stories like this are coming, and you won't want to miss them.